Hey, I'm Kelly Sue, and this is your intuitive cocktail for April 8th, 2025. How are we doing? How are we feeling? We still have Mars in Cancer, which is great for getting stuff done around the house, especially if you need to organize things. And we've also got Moon at 2 degrees Virgo, so we've got the double, we've got the cozy and we've got the get your stuff together. And also with Virgo, there's always a focus on health. It's like getting yourself, how are you? How's your mental health? How's your body? How are your vibes? How are you doing? And then we've got still, in opposition to the moon, we have all these planets. It's not a complete opposition to the moon because the moon's at 2 degrees Virgo instead of further along. But we've got Mercury and Venus still conjunct in Pluto, even though Mercury is now direct. And even though it's direct, remember that there's like a 3-day lag. There's like a 3 days before, 3 days afterwards where it's just kind of wonky. Because really it's not like a clear, just like it goes in about phase. It's not like it does a 180. It's like it's an elliptical orbit. So it just kind of really sort of looks like it's going backwards, but it is a funkier kind of motion in relationship to the other planets. So that's what that looks like. And then we've also got Saturn at 28 degrees. So we've got a conjunction there still with Pisces. We've got the North Node, which is retrograde, conjunct also in Pisces. Okay, so that's a lot of that still watery energy. And then with Mars in Cancer, we still have a lot of that just kind of watering, kind of looking for there's just because it's water doesn't mean that it's easy, because remember that in Chinese astrology, water is the most powerful element. And if you think about it, it's really true. Even though water is soft and you think that it's but it erodes over time, it wears things down over time and it shifts over time. It also, a gallon of water is 7 pounds. So if you think about all those waves that are hitting, that's significant. And if you're up above water and anybody that's ever done a belly flop knows how bad that hurts. Water does not always feel silky soft and nice. Okay. Still, it's a good move, good energy to take a bath. I'm going to do that after this. And then we have a nice, a trine. Okay, so I'm not really sure where I was. I'm just going to be honest. But my timers only go for a few minutes because I'm trying to get faster. But I can do so many deep dives because I'm wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. So interesting. We've got something really special today. We've got a yod. So that means that, I don't know if you know about yods. Yods are they're shaped like this. Kind of they look like a megaphone. If you see them, they're kind of an isosceles triangle. And so you've got, because remember, the horoscope is round. So geometry, study geometry much. That's why you want to go to school. So we've got the moon at the pointy point, in Virgo at 2 degrees. And then we've got Pluto, 3 degrees in Aquarius. And we've got Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. And this is a really powerful, yods are it's basically the finger of God. So it's kind of it's sort of that saying of how you do anything affects everything, but it's also what one person does affects multitudes. So if you use the energy properly, and also if you use the energy improperly, these people that are arresting people that really don't need to be arrested. This is just I just watched a Salvadoran mother who's here on asylum be arrested in front of her kids on an Instagram video, and I'm just so mad. So it's that these are human rights violations. Okay, so even if you're doing something that's really shitty and terrible, you're still going to be held accountable for that later. And it's also what you do, what we do affects a huge amount of people. It's like going out like into sort of infinity. Like it goes way out. So whatever you're doing today has the potential all day, April 8th. Like it's already April 8th technically now. So all day, the things that you do are going to affect a lot of people. If you are, I mean, obviously, if you're just going to sit and not use the energy and not create or do anything, but if you do create and you are a creator, you have the power to reach a lot of people today. What you do, where you go, what we say, what we do, the things that we're doing are impactful to more than just ourselves. So, as I was saying, things that affect, it's kind of like that thing of like think globally, act locally. That like, I don't know who came up with that slogan, but it's really true. It's like think locally, act, or think globally, act locally. So the things that you do have a bigger imprint than just on yourself and the people in your immediate vicinity. Also, we have Jupiter at 17 degrees of Gemini, and Jupiter is like expanding. So that's part of the thing, but it's also not part of the ode, but sometimes it can be, but it isn't right now. But it's definitely an expansive energy. It's expanding communication. It's expanding like, and it's also, kind of like, I used to always call it the sugar daddy of the cosmos. And it really is that. It is the sugar daddy of the cosmos. It's like the ability to bestow blessings, and it's a very protective energy. And it also rules higher education. It rules travel. It rules like the world as a whole and other countries, and like, it's very expansive. It's the ruler of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is that, it's the philosopher, the teacher that teaches like the whole, like it's a broader thing. So that this is like affecting the whole entire world, what's happening right now. Unfortunately, or fortunately, or whatever it is, but our leader is a Gemini, interestingly, whether that matters to you or not. But we also have the Sun sextile Jupiter right now. And so if you think that you're not getting people's attention, I promise you, whatever we're doing, we are getting attention. So we've got Mars squaring Chiron, and we've also got Mars sextile Jupiter. So there's a lot of like bigger influences happening here. And also, we've got Mars in opposition to Pluto, which is like kind of people want to fight. People are up for a fight. And that's good, because it's at a point where, there's a lot of ways to fight. There is discourse. There's a lot of ways to bring about, I mean, wars don't happen randomly, just like a bar fight, They happen in boardrooms, and they happen in corporate espionage, and they happen. So there's lots of different ways that we see, people fighting. I'm just, what is happening? There's a lot of different ways that we see things, fighting, and then there's also like Venus is square Jupiter. And if this were a normal kind of a day with these, Venus squaring Jupiter and, Mars opposition to Pluto, I'd say, wow, we've got like the potential to meet someone and have intense chemistry. And it could be super hot, like that kind of thing, like soap opera sizzling hot. Okay. But because this is also like affecting, the bigger picture, it's a lot of really intense energies. We've got a lot of sextiles today. We've got some two really important septiles, and septiles are kind of where there's sort of astrologers, astrology kind of stuff, but they're like where there's like an intuitive talent, like an innate talent, like a savant kind of talent with certain things. One of them is Venus septile Pluto. So it's like there's this way that if you tap into or tune into the way that we're dealing with like other people with Pluto, and also like there's a way to finesse communication with people, there's a way to charm people that can get things done for yourself and also politically, like in our politics, because remember, Venus has to do with politics and community too. And then we've got also Saturn septile Pluto. So that's like, I mean, this could actually be kind of, it could be good if you're a judge or you're an attorney and you're trying to get justice done. This is the way that like you can find a way, a loophole to straighten things out, to bring people back, to get things sorted out in a positive way. But remember that that which is capable of doing the greatest good is also capable of doing the greatest harm. So we want to all be oming and visualizing things working out for the greatest good and stopping the harm that is happening. So this Saturn septile Pluto is going to allow attorneys and judges to have the intuitive, the claircognizance. So what I was saying is the claircognizance, like that, just like that deeper knowing, intuitive knowing of like, and an aha moment to come up with something that will allow them to save the day, hopefully, for people, and get this like nonsense of no due process like done away with. It's ridiculous. So human rights violations are no joke. And if you think, even if legally they don't get anything, like if legally this doesn't happen, like if nothing gets done legally, at least for a while, karmically, this is no joke. And it will go on their karmic records for a long time. So some people don't care about that, but they should. And okay, so I think that's about everything. So like the best way to use the energy is, of course, to stay present. Oh, you know what? And also we've got Moon squaring Neptune. Where did I write that Moon squaring? No, actually the Moon is squaring Uranus. So that's like using that kind of energy, like extra energy, that Uranian kind of that Uranian kind of like energy to come up with very innovative ways to power through things. So this could be a time where you could come up with some solutions for yourself and for others. And, I'm hoping that through grace, the people who are working on behalf of the people who need immediate legal help and other things are able to come up with some innovative ways and strategies to block those things and get people brought back that shouldn't have been disappeared. So, and really, I just don't. Anyway, justice. I feel like I'm working on the Justice League today. But it's like there is karmic justice. It is coming. Because the divine is seeing and hearing everything. Our angels are hearing and seeing everything. So things will be worked out